Big Bear AI traded at a high of 782 and a low of 667 today. And what do you really do with a stock that's run up on hype, sitting at all-time highs, more or less? How do you really plot that? How do you do TA on that, especially on a daily chart that we're looking at here, where you really don't have a lot to work with? Well, what we like to do is we like to do Fibonacci retracements. So what we do is we take the lows that we hit back in August, start our tool there, go all the way up to yesterday's high, and then we kind of make points, percentages of pullbacks and certain levels mathematically that we could see or could be of importance to us in the future, not the near term, but in the future. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to leave this on from yesterday, because even though we hit the 782 high today, we're not going to move our plot up here, our tool, to the top of this wick. We're going to leave it right here where it is, because we really like where the 514 mark is as far as resistance wise. That's kind of where we were back in December. Again, just a couple of trading sessions ago. The 438's a lot of action wrapped around there, and that 363 we had supports in here in mid-January, and it was also resistance for us back in about mid-December. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to leave these on here from yesterday. We actually plotted this in our Discord last night. We pointed out all these levels here in our analysis. So if you are a part of the Discord, you did see this last night. So what do we do with that information, though? Well, near term, future, nothing, because we don't really expect we're going to get a sharp pullback tomorrow. It could happen, but let's be real, we're only expecting around $1 move in here. That's what options traders are kind of pricing in, is about a $1.22 move. So near term, immediate support, what are we going to look at? Well, for that, we're going to open up our 30-minute chart in here. And then you can see that really the lows that we kind of hit yesterday was that 665 mark. And that's where this blue dotted line is. So we're going to call that our support. And it's also where we actually kissed on that last 30-minute candle before today's session's close. We kind of kissed that 665 mark, and we were kind of sitting right around it in after hours, even though we're trading right around 679 currently. So that's going to be an immediate support for us. Below that, then we're going to start looking at our fib, which is going to be that 23.6 fib retracement. It's going to be 608. And below there, it's going to be that 38.2 514. Now, resistance wise, what are we going to look at? Well, if we stay with our 30-minute chart here, it's going to be this 9-day EMA. That's currently trading right around those 680 marks in after hours. But really what we want to kind of see is we're going to see a push up into the 745 range, and really 720s is going to be a nice range for us, right around 721 for resistance wise. So really above the $7 mark, you're kind of looking at $20 increments, 720, 740, 760 before that push higher. And then after the 760s, obviously it's going to be that all-time high that we clocked into today's session at that 782 range. Now, options change wise, we mentioned that we did have a $1.22 expected move in here by tomorrow's expiration. So I'm sorry, that is by next Friday's expiration. So 122 in there. You have around a $1.57 expected move priced in by your February monthlies, and in your March monthlies, right around a $2.57 expected move. IV is high in here, hard to borrow. A lot of volatility, a lot of hype. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in here with all the volatility, the volume kicking in. And you also have to note, when you run up like this, your RSI is going to be very high. And if we scroll back out to our daily chart in here, you can see our RSI is all the way above 70. That means we are overbought. So consolidation, pullback is needed in here, obviously, before we start climbing higher. But immediate supports we're going to be watching for some footing and some consolidation, that 665 range going into that 608. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you are interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.